great. Hi.
Thanks. I put makeup on just for you.
Well, I timed it, so I filmed a video actually this morning, so I just kept my makeup on, so it worked out perfectly.
That's what I'm doing after this LED face mask.
I know, it's like you can't do you have to like take advantage of having your makeup done.
Oh yeah, because it's the worst to put it on now.
So it's just 12:01. Already we have a bunch of people that have joined. So thanks you guys so much for joining.
Hi.
I feel like I want to be lower so I can be, there we go.
Yeah, perfect.
So you guys, I wanted to just, to the people that have joined from Katie's page, I just wanted to give you background on me and how I got to know Katie. And then Katie, I'd love it for you to talk to my followers about your background. I think everybody already knows who you are. But I still think that it would be fun to just chat through that. So I'm Trina, and I have a YouTube channel called Beauty Beyond 40, and I do mostly microcurrent videos, but the radio frequency device has become so popular all over social media, and I knew about the NUA from you, Katie.
Oh, awesome.
And I actually know about you, Katie, because when 70 Wellness reached out to ask me to become an affiliate for the MyLift Mini, I was hesitant because it was so intimidating, and they're like, just go watch Katie's videos, you'll be fine. So honestly, like
that's so fun.
That's how I got to know you, so I learned to use it through you. And then since you're an esthetician, I do my videos just as like a regular person would do it on themselves, so it's a different perspective. And they had said that, they're like, we would like to see how, yeah, they're like, we'd like to see how you would do it like on yourself, because Katie's approach is a little different because she is working like standing over a client and like doing it on their face. So that's how I got to know you. And, you know, everybody loves you and comments and talks about you all the time on all of my content. So I was so happy when you agreed to do this video with me, this live.
It's so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, please tell everybody about you, your background and everything for the new people that don't know who you are, which I don't think there is anyone.
Well, okay, so my name's Katie. I'm the Organic Esthetician on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm a licensed esthetician in the state of California for a little over a decade. And I focus mostly, well, I use all organic and clean skincare, and then I kind of focus mostly on anti-aging treatments. I'm also a skincare educator. So pre-COVID, I traveled the country and I trained spas. And I also have the YouTube channel, which I think some of you have seen, where I do a lot of device tutorials. That's kind of probably my shtick. I love anything and everything anti-aging, and I do a lot of ingredient information and kind of keep everything clean and organic, but also show you how you can do anti-aging treatments at home. So I'm so happy to be here. I am trying to think when you kind of came on my radar. I would see you on Instagram, and then I saw that you were getting, or you and Valentina were maybe doing some stuff. You're going to get facials with her. And that's when I reached out and was like, if you ever want to try some of the other 70 Wellness devices, I have all three.
I do, so, yes, I really do. And as soon as like COVID is over, I would love to book that, because I think that we should film it. So we should just film it and post it.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
That would be really fun. So for all of you guys that have joined, I just want to let you know, like, that we are doing a giveaway. So I'll tell you how to enter, and then we're going to get all into the NUA. So to enter to win the NUA radio frequency device, along with a 3-month supply of gel, all you need to do is follow me, follow Katie, the Organic Esthetician, and I'm at Trina Elvis because you're here on the live, and then follow at NUA Beauty, that's their handle, and then just comment during the live, and I am recording the live on my laptop so I can see all the comments come through, because I do believe after this ends, I'm going to post it to my IGTV, but all the comments will be gone. So I wanted to make sure that I had a capture of all the comments so that we can pick a random winner.
Good thinking.
It's not my first live. They keep changing the technology all the time. So I'm recording it. And then what we'll do is we'll just verify that you live in the US, that you have followed all 3 accounts, and then we'll announce the winner on our Instagram pages. And I know, you guys, it's frustrating that it's US only today?
So the reason that is because the NUA device is technically a medical device. And so there's a lot of restrictions and regulations country to country about what you're able to retail directly to consumers. So each country has their own distribution. I know Canada was something that you wanted me to mention. They're working on Canada right now, again, just because of it being a medical device or considered a medical device. There's different regulations on that. And I have a list of all the countries it's available.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, please do tell, because I get that all the time. The community is very global and everybody wants to know, like, how can they get it?
Totally. So it's available in China, Korea, Japan, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, the UK, and Israel.
Oh, wow.
So if you're in any of those countries, you have your own NUA website with your own NUA distribution. And so you can reach out to them. Any of our discount codes are only going to, like, I have a discount code for NUA and it's only good in the US. So I apologize to anyone globally.
What is your code? Can you share it with anybody in case?
Yeah, it's NUA Organic. All one word together.
All one word.
And what that does is give you 20% off of the NUA Classic device. So NUA makes two different devices. There's the NUA Plus, which is cordless. And then the NUA Classic has a cord. And I'll talk about that later when we get into the device. The cord option, the Classic, is way cheaper. And I think it doesn't really matter if there's a cord or not. So you get 20% off of the NUA Classic, which is already discounted. And so I think altogether, do I have that someplace? I think it's like $159.20.
Wow.
If you use my code on the NUA Classic.
That's pretty great. So, I don't have the NUA yet. I have a Sensica or Sensica.
And I watched your video and I'm curious to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I mean, I got it out of my storage because I was like, everybody's talking about radio frequency. I got to do it, and I loved it. I think it's great. I noticed that my eyes lifted, my hoods lifted a little bit because I had done microcurrent that same week. So I think it might be a powerful combination. But the one that I use, it has a cord. The one I have has a cord, and it's fine.
Yeah, I'm doing all of my treatments in the mirror anyway. So I'm standing stationary. I find that if I move around while I'm doing a microcurrent treatment, I burn myself. Like, I'm doing circles, and suddenly I'm
you mean the radio frequency?
I'm so sorry. Yes, the radio frequency.
Because I was like, you don't feel anything with microcurrent.
No, the radio frequency.
Yeah, because it can be hot. You have to be careful.
It can be hot if you hold it in one spot. And so when I move, if I'm walking around, my like consistent little circles slow down considerably, and then it ends up getting too hot. So I like staying in one place when I'm doing radio frequency.
I always do my devices in a mirror. I have my Ricky mirror, and I just sit in front of it just to make sure that I'm doing it properly, especially as I'm getting to learn these new devices. But that's a really good tip. But yeah, can you tell everybody, like, I think there's a lot of people already know about microcurrent, but can you tell everybody like what radio frequency is and why it's so great and like about the NUA device? Because I have to get
and how they're different too, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with microcurrent. I think the majority of everyone tuning in is either using like the NuFace or the MyoLift Mini, which we both have and we both love.
Yeah.
This is my favorite at-home microcurrent device.
Me too.
So, awesome. I love that. So microcurrent is a low-level electrical current that mimics the body's natural electrical current. It's a subsensory experience, so true microcurrent really shouldn't be felt. The NuFace gets a little zappy and twitchy, and that's kind of a whole another animal. Mm-hmm. But with the MyoLift Mini, you're really not feeling anything unless you have your intensity up too high. Microcurrent does two things. So ultimately, its focus is on the muscle, and it's going to lift and contour the muscle by stimulating it. You get these little kind of contractions, and it's lifting. So the MyoLift Mini is different than any other at-home device because it has two different settings. So one lifts and tightens and the other smooths and stretches, so it's more wrinkle minimizing. And then it's also triggering this thing called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which is your cellular energy. So with microcurrent, you get like an immediate lift and tighten, and then this kind of long-term glow and like better skin because you're triggering this energy in your cells. Radio frequency is totally different. It's not an electrical current. It's a frequency. So it's more like a sound wave on that end of the electromagnetic spectrum. And it's a heat energy that stimulates collagen production in the skin. So it's this warm device, whether it's a professional treatment or an at-home treatment, and it's sending heat into the dermis, so deep into the lower levels of the skin where collagen's formed, and it stimulates those fibroblasts. So with radio frequency, you are firming the skin and minimizing fine lines and wrinkles. But because we're stimulating collagen, it's not an immediate thing. You might get a little bit of an immediate tightening of the skin, but it's more of a long game. It's going to take up to 3 months for you to really, you've stimulated that collagen, and now that collagen is moving up to the surface. So that's why, you know, you do this intensive and then you kind of do these maintenance things. And so you'll see results after the first 4 weeks, but you'll see even better results after that 3rd month.
Oh, so I need to keep going. So the results I saw when my hoods were lifted was probably just from doing the 400 educate mode of the MyLift Mini.
It could be that. It also, the device you have, it's dynamic radio frequency.
Yeah.
And so ultimately it's a facial massage. You're getting some oscillation.
Yeah. And
with that, like T-sonic pulsations or anything like that where you're kind of wiggling, you'll get a little lift anyway.
I loved it.
It's so relaxing, right? Like any sort of heat treatment on the skin, it's just a nice sensation. I say, if anything, the downside to radio frequency is that it takes a while, right? You're spending...
I feel like it doesn't take any longer than doing the MyLift Mini.
Not if you're doing like a full... I think I get lazy with my microcurrent. I'm like using gloves and going fast.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I mean, if you really, like, if I will spend like 25 minutes or like, you know, 25 minutes doing my MyLift Mini, I feel like that was the same amount of time that I was doing the radio frequency. So I get it. You can do little touch-ups and be quick, but I don't know. I think it's worth it.
It's 100% worth it. And so you can see how one is kind of affecting the muscle and the other is affecting the skin. And so together, it's a really well-rounded and kind of all-encompassing treatment. And so there's benefit to using them together in your skincare routine, which is what I do, and I love that result. And I think that's what a lot of people want at home. They're talking about, oh, my skin is sagging. Well, microcurrent isn't going to affect the skin at all. Radio frequency will. So it kind of picks up where the microcurrent leaves off to kind of make your skin function optimally.
It's really a powerful duo. I think I'm so excited to keep doing the radio frequency. And somebody asked in the comments if we're recording this and posting it later. Yes, we are saving this. I'm going to talk it through with Katie where I'm allowed to post it, and I'm going to post it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I think this is really really educational. So
cool.
Regarding the NUA, and you guys, please, you know, ask your questions in the comments, but I got a lot of questions over the past few days about the NUA, and I was hoping you could help us answer some of those, Katie. And like, number one, people were saying, I'm afraid to use radio frequency because it's going to get rid of some of the fat. I'm going to lose some of the plumpness, like in my face if I use that. Is that true?
So that was my fear too, right? Because there's different types of radio frequency. There's monopolar, tripolar, and then a multipolar radio frequency. Oh. And different ones do different things in the skin. And so when I'm talking about this won't affect the fat. I'm talking about the NUA at-home device won't affect fat. There are other devices out there, and I can't speak to what those frequencies are, what type of polarity they're using. But with the NUA, it's kind of a long answer, but I'll show you. So here on your NUA, you see there's 6 little guys here. So each one is a pair. And when you use it on your skin, you're bouncing back and forth between the pairs. So it's kind of fanning out. And what that does is penetrates the heat deep down, right? So instead of it just getting hot on the surface, it's getting hot down into those lower levels of the dermis. So it's epidermis, dermis, and then underneath here is your subcutaneous fat. So this type of radio frequency is a multipolar radio frequency. NUA uses this, it's called 3D technology. And it's going 3 layers deep. So they call it the cuticle, the epidermis, and the dermis, but it only penetrates 4 millimeters into the skin. And at 6 millimeters is where your fat is. So using your NUA device at home, you will never affect the fat. There are other treatments of radio frequency that will dissolve fat. This one will not.
And is it any of the NUAs? Like you had said, there's different types of NUAs. Like if you get a NUA, you're safe from that? So in the US, to your knowledge?
Yes, 100%. So the devices are exactly the same. The only difference is cord or cordless.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to know. I didn't know there were so many different versions, and I feel like people will just buy something because they see it online or they watch a video, and they didn't really do their research and didn't realize there was so much to learn. So I think that's a really, really great tip. And it makes me nervous using the other radio frequency device, the dynamic one. Like, I don't even know what I'm using.
I went online to try to figure out, and it looks bipolar to me, which is a more superficial treatment, but it wasn't there. And
I'm just going to get the NUA. I feel like I feel more comfortable using it because I know that you can use it in conjunction with the MyLift Mini like that you do. So
yeah. So for me to partner with a company, which is what I've done, I've partnered with NUA, just like I've partnered with MyLift. It's really important to me that there's a lot of education, that there's a lot of transparency, and that there's really great customer service. Like for me, those 3 things are really important for me to use something and then tell other people, you should really try this too. And with the NUA, they have a 1-year warranty. It's like a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you can send it back. And they are a subsidiary of a medical company. So ND Med owns NUA Beauty, and ND Med makes medical devices. So they make laser treatments and professional radio frequency. And so they took the professional radio frequency, this 3D technology, and they put it in a handheld for consumer use. And so they have all of these clinicals. They're the first FDA cleared radio frequency device for at-home wrinkle reduction. So it's just like there's a lot of things kind of stacked up where I'm like, oh, I want to work with this company.
Yeah.
Whereas other companies make radio frequency devices, but they don't have all of that education readily available to the public. And I want that. I want to know, well, what exactly am I using and how does it work and what are the clinical studies that you did? And so they did those. I have those too if you're interested.
Yeah, how can they find it? Is it on your blog? Or is it on the NUA site?
It's on the NUA site, and I talk about it. So if anyone has a question that you think got missed in this or want to recap, I have a YouTube video that talks about the difference between microcurrent and radio frequency and then goes really in depth into like what radio frequency is and the different types. And then a full demo of the NUA. But so they had 90% of participants saw a reduction in wrinkles, and it's clinically proven to generate 3.8% new collagen. And so I'll talk about that for a second. So collagen, I'm sure everyone knows what this is, but it's the protein that holds up your skin, right? It's the scaffolding inside. It's what gives you volume and plumpness. And as we age, our ability to produce collagen slows way down due to just like intrinsic aging factors, but also hormonal things. Like as we go through menopause, it really affects our ability to produce collagen. And then at 30, moving forward from 30, we lose 1% of our collagen every year. And that's like the baseline. So if you're like hanging out in a tanning bed, smoking a cigarette and like eating a Big Mac, your collagen might decrease a little more rapidly, right?
Yeah.
So 1%, but maybe more. And so by increasing collagen about 4% in a 4-week treatment cycle, you're turning back the clock 4 years, which I think is pretty cool.
That's amazing. And how often do you use it though? Because that comes up all the time. I thought you do radiofrequency once a week. Is that true?
So your device says one 5-minute treatment a week. The Nua Beauty recommends 4 to 5 treatments a week for the first 4 weeks or so. I think you could probably even go into a 12-week treatment cycle if you wanted to. And then it's maintenance 1 to 2 times a week to maintain those results you've achieved.
So it's like the MyoLift Mini, where you got to do some upfront, you got to dedicate some time upfront to get to the baseline and then maintenance.
Totally. And so my personal experience with it, maybe after I started using it and it's so hard. I get lazy. Right? I'm just like everyone else, and I'm like, oh, I only did it twice this week, and I have to make a video, and you know? So the first couple weeks, I was like hit and miss with using it. But once I kind of started doing it 5 nights a week, I would say after like week 2, I started seeing a shift in my skin.
Wow.
And then by the end of the 4 weeks, I was like, oh yeah, like it's subtle, but I see a difference. And for me, like I'm 34, I do a lot of anti-aging treatments preventatively, like kind of prophylactically, so I don't have to inject myself later. Yes. And so I'm not always like the best example, right? Like my before and afters aren't very drastic. My mom did it twice and she was like, oh, I see a difference right away. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, people are asking how old we are. I'm glad you said your age, because I was like, I'm not going to put you on the spot. But
no, it's fine. People ask me all the time. Yeah. I'm 35 in January.
I'm 45. I'm like, how old am I?
And looking very good.
Well, because I do microcurrent. I just started radiofrequency. I have an intense skincare routine. I stay out of the sun. I wear sunscreen. I do retinol like crazy, like every single night. So I've really been working at it. And I'm like you, where I want to like maintain. But I think I'd like to do some before and after photos of once I get the Nua, I'm going to do a series of photos and track the progress. And I put it in my calendar as a meeting invite to myself. Like, you must do this. You know, like you have to do this.
That's so nice.
I have to.
You know, once I got into it, I started doing it. But at first, you know, it was like the world is burning down around you. Yeah. And you're like crying, like looking at the news, doing radio frequency.
But I feel like it's a good idea to get started on the intensive with one device or the other, so that you can kind of relax a little bit and then do the other one intensive. So now I'm doing every other week my MyoLift Mini, and I could introduce the Nua those few times a week while I ramp up, and then it's not going to be too overwhelming. And I know people want to know, can they do them the same day? Can they layer them?
Yeah, so you're more than welcome to layer them. I like doing radio frequency first, because even though we're warming the skin to stimulate collagen, we're still warming the muscle. And so as long as you stay really hydrated, you're warming the muscle with your radio frequency, then it's really prepped and primed to get a nice lift and contour when you're doing the microcurrent. So if you want to layer them together, I would do it like that. You don't even have
benefit? Do you think there's a benefit to doing that? Like if I work in a time when I'm going to do them, do you think I should do them on the same day?
Or yeah, especially, I mean, I think realistically, you probably don't have time to do that all the time. But
so true.
Once a week, that's what I do. I do once a week, I do microcurrent radio frequency together.
Awesome.
And then I do like these teeny little mini treatments throughout the week with 2 other devices that I've been using. And yeah, there's definitely benefit to combining modalities for sure.
And I think like, I really appreciate your take on the clean skincare or organic skincare, because when you're using these devices, you're really pressing the products like deep into your skin, and like with microcurrent, you know, with the products you use, you're like pressing it in, and I think it's really
microcurrent
important.
Especially because you're increasing cellular permeability. So microcurrent's a good one to layer like your anti-aging serum underneath your gel and then do it. Radio frequency, you know, you're warming the skin, so maybe there's a little bit of increased product penetration that way, but traditionally you're not getting any like real pushing sensation.
Okay.
So it really, it's not that big of a deal what you're using. However, you know, you want to be mindful about the gel that you're using. So we can talk about that. I really quickly, when you were talking about your routine, I like that you did the intensive with the microcurrent. Now you're on maintenance, then you go in intensive with the radio frequency. I think that's really realistic.
Yeah.
And if you have like one area you want to focus on, instead of doing, because NUA is 4-minute sections. So if this is your area of focus, just do 8 minutes each day as your intensive. And then, you know, so then it makes it a little more manageable where you're not spending all of this time doing your whole face. You could just kind of focus on one zone.
Can you do your forehead? Because you couldn't with the Sensica. And then also people were saying that the NUA will make your melasma worse. And I don't know if you can see, like, I got some pretty intense melasma here. So I'm nervous about that, like sunspots.
So, okay, so 2 questions. So the first one is, can you do your forehead? Yes, you can. So their like designated areas of treatment focus are 1, 2, 3 on each side of the face. However, they say that you are more than welcome to use it on your forehead, on your neck. Again, just like microcurrent, you want to avoid your thyroid, and you can do it on your décolleté. You always want to make sure that if you have no pre-existing heart condition, like using an electrical device on your body, always like make sure you talk to your doctor. I'm not a physician, I'm an esthetician, right? So I'm just prefacing that. And I've also gotten questions about, can I use it on my body, right? And go for it, but just keep in mind, it was clinically designed to be used on the face. And when you're working on the body, you need a lot more intensity. So you might get a little bit of result, but don't expect the same amazing result that you got on your face to also happen somewhere else on your body.
Yeah, just like the new body goes up to 900 microamps for your body, which is like insane when you think of like the MyLip Mini goes up to 400 for your face, and new body 900 for your body. So that's an example right there. You need so much more power.
Totally. And like a lot of body stuff is actually EMS. It's not even microcurrent. And so like that's, you know, something you would never do on your face, but okay to do on the body. So just different things. Melasma. So intuitively, I'm like, oh, heat, don't do it, right? That's my thought. And I think that's probably really conservative. The like clinical side, the educator that I've been working with at NUA said that she didn't see any problems with it. And the clinical studies that I've seen have actually shown that radiofrequency can reduce melasma when paired with like a topical like anti-pigmentation treatment, but it's the RF with the microneedling. Have you seen those professional ones where they come stand to it?
I have.
So those results were paired with a slightly different version of radiofrequency, but I really think that you're fine to do it. With the NUA, talking about pigment, so I think the biggest bummer with this one, and it's not radiofrequency across the board, it's just with the NUA from what I've seen, is that darker skin tones are contraindicated for using the NUA. So you need to be a Fitzpatrick 1 through 4. So if like a darker end of the spectrum skin tone, you might actually have some pigmentation issues with the heat. So that's something to be mindful of too. And for those individuals, LED light therapy, right? Totally fine, totally safe. Also stimulating collagen, just doing it in a different way.
Yeah, Current Body actually reached out to me and they want to send me an LED mask, and I was like, yes, I'll take it. Right?
Hey, Current Body, I also would like one of those. Thank you very much.
I'll send them your info. But I was like, hell yeah, because then I can get like skin tightening, I can get microcurrent lift, and then I can get like, you know,
and it's acne. Silicone. The wearable LED is the way to go, but all of the masks are so uncomfortable because they're heavy, and you want a silicone one because not only is it light on the face, it's also going to mold just like the Soluma molds to your face. You're going to get a better treatment.
Well, I'll make a video. I'm just like, yes, I want it. I'm like, send me all the LED masks. I want to brighten that hyperpigmentation, melasma.
And the neck bib?
I don't know if I'm getting the neck bib. I'll just have to check the mail. It's just like these devices become so addictive because they're so fun and you see results. And I just love to age gracefully and naturally instead of injectables.
Yeah.
But that's another question people always ask. Can I use the Nua with my Botox and filler?
Oh, yeah. So, totally. With injectables, you are more than welcome to do these modalities over your injectable. You always want to wait 2 full weeks post-injection before you start doing stuff. Because especially with fillers, you can move that around. It's malleable for a little bit, right? Yeah. About it anyway. But I totally understand why people like to do that. And I know that you mentioned it in your radio frequency video, and that's fine. If that's the route you want to go, by all means do it. But do these other modalities in conjunction with it, because those are a quick fix that actually can degrade the skin over time and degrade the muscle very much so. So you really want to make sure if you're doing Botox that you're also doing microcurrent. And if you're going to do filler, that you're also stimulating your collagen. So you're safe to use it 2 weeks post-injection, but please think about like protecting the health of your skin by also using these tools.
So, I mean, I feel like that's confusing because I guess like if I was getting a Botox in my forehead to like freeze it, then like 2 weeks later I use my microcurrent. Aren't I going to be like reversing the freeze?
So here's the thing with that. So 70 Wellness likes to say that you can 2 weeks post start doing microcurrent right over your Botox. And I think there is something to be said that it could break it up a little bit. But what you're doing is the exact same thing. So if you're using your erase setting on your MyoLift, so not any microcurrent, but specifically the erase setting, you are doing the exact same thing as Botox. You are smoothing out the muscle and lengthening it, which is what Botox does. It's going to freeze it in a relaxed state, not in a contracted one, right? And so the benefit to doing microcurrent, I like to suggest, because I like being a little more conservative, say you're getting Botox every 4 months or 6 months or however long. Let's say 4 months. At month 3, start adding in microcurrent. You're going to push out your injectables. Now you're probably going to make it last a little bit longer. So maybe you're going in every 6 months instead of every 4 months. And then that like week or 2 before your appointment, do it every day so that you're really stimulating the muscle. You're stimulating blood flow, because when you are freezing the muscle, you get stagnation. So you get less blood flow into the tissue and less waste removal, lymphatic drainage out. And so you get this stagnation, and over time, decades of use, you get this graying and this kind of decay in the skin. Also, all of the muscles in your face are attached to the other muscles, right? So if you freeze this muscle, then all of these are attached to it and they're going to start acting a little different because this thing that was holding them up before isn't. And then you can kind of get this like sad face that happens.
So it's healthier to use microcurrent. It's more natural. It's
more natural. And if you are serious about it, I truly believe that you can have as good, if not better, results doing microcurrent instead of injectables.
Well, I mean, I'm obsessed with it. Like I said, I have it in my calendar and I make a meeting and I do it. Like, you know, people are saying like, you have good results. I'm like, because I actually am doing it like all the time. I never forget it because I've never done Botox and filler and I'm afraid. So like, that's what pushes me to do it. I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm going to have to go get an injection and I don't want that. So I think a lot of people have said that they stop getting injectables once they see the great results from radio frequency and from microcurrent and all these great devices. So I think it's really exciting that we have all of access to these at-home devices and also the more powerful ones that you can get if they were to come see you like in your spa, because there's even more you can achieve.
So that's a really good point that you made. So the results you can get doing these gadgets, using them at home is fantastic. But also incorporating a professional treatment when you can as like a maintenance kind of like boost, like a super boost, it's going to make that, you know, one expensive investment facial or facial procedure last so much longer because you're doing these treatments at home to kind of support that same modality that you did, whether it's microcurrent or radio frequency, but then your skin is healthier. So it's going to respond better to these more expensive professional treatments. So all in all, it's a really great combination.
Yeah, I had just started to do the professional level right before COVID hit. I was going to Valentina Belova to like use her fancy machine, and it was so cool just to see the extra lift I could get. And then I would go home and do maintenance, and I really was so happy to be on that path. But now the path is like falling out, so I don't know when that's gonna happen again.
I know. Well, she went back when they reopened briefly.
But
like
then we like didn't we close again?
Yeah. I'm waiting until
I'm too freaked out. I'm just too freaked out. So I'm just at home. I'm at home doing everything.
Yeah. It's the only treatment where both people aren't wearing a mask.
Right. Yeah, you can't wear a mask because you're doing your
lashes, nails, hair, both people are wearing a mask. Skincare, only one person. And we have a face shield and whatever, but like I would just die inside if I gave it to a bunch of my clients.
It's too scary. I'm just waiting. I wanted to really quickly, you guys, we're like 20 minutes left. This is crazy how fast this goes.
Yeah.
I wanted to remind you that we do have a giveaway going on, and to enter to win, all you need to do is make sure that you comment during this live, and then make sure you're following 3 accounts, me, Katie, the organic esthetician, and Nua Beauty. And then we're going to pick a winner after the live, verify you followed all the steps and that you live in the US, and then we're going to announce it on social, and you'll get a Nua device along with a 3-month supply of gel.
So you get one of the activator gels.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The Lift Activator Gel, and then you get a second bottle of the Sensitive Skin. So let's talk about the gels, because the question I get all the time is, can I use other conductivity? So Nua makes 2 different gels. I personally would recommend everyone buy the Sensitive Skin just because as the organic esthetician, it is a little cleaner.
Yeah.
This gel in general isn't the cleanest option out there in the world, but I have found that it works extremely well with this device, and that this device can be a little finicky if you stray from the recommended usage. So I have used it with like my 7E conductivity gels, which are the cleanest option I've found aside from making my own or just using other things. And it works fine, but you don't get the same slip. It gets a little stickier, and I end up using more product, and it's just not as nice of a treatment. So you know, I highly, highly recommend using Nua's gel with your Nua device. I know I've gotten, people have reached out that their device maybe died or something happened. So the two things for troubleshooting that I would try to avoid doing to make sure that your Nua lasts forever is to only use their gel with the device and to not get water in your device. So I wipe down the top of my guy here with a Kleenex.
Yeah.
Words. And then I use an alcohol swab just to like disinfect in between uses and get any like little schmutzy stuff.
That's what I do.
off.
I do the same thing. I have my little my sterile alcohol swab that I just clean off even my MyLife Mini. I do that just to like clean it.
Yeah. And so like no damp cloth. Like I just like be really kind of safe about it to make sure that your device lasts a really long time and functions optimally.
And I agree with you on the gel. Like I always tell people, use the gel that came with the device because so much testing went into it. It's been optimized to get the best performance for the device, and people want to use something that's like just an aloe vera gel or water, and people, if you're doing that and you're finding good results, then go for it. But I personally, like, you know, if I'm buying a device that's like $400, like I want to use the gel that's going to make it work the hardest for me. And I don't like to cut corners. I like to use what the manufacturer recommends. And maybe it's like they're trying to make money off of you, but I find, like you're saying, like you get an optimal experience, and that's what I always say. I'm like a very like by the book.
So I 100% hear what you're saying, and I think in most situations I would agree with you. I think when it comes to microcurrent, just because you do get that penetration of product, some of those gels are pretty dirty. And so I don't want to push those synthetic preservatives and those other kind of icky ingredients deeper into my skin.
You mean like the ones? You mean like the ones that are not 70 Wellness? Because I love the 70 Wellness ones.
So the 70 Wellness gel, specifically the Restore. This guy. This is my favorite professional, like approved microcurrent gel. I love this stuff.
You can use that with all your microcurrent devices as well, though.
Yeah. So with microcurrent, there's a lot of options out there, and I find that you can really kind of get a little looser with it. You can also do it over sheet masks, which I absolutely love doing. Any water-based product, any water-based mask. Like I used to work at the Ritz-Carlton forever, and we had Eminence, and they have this stone crop mask, and that was our new face conductivity gel. We just did it over the stone crop. It was such a mess to clean up, but any water-based mask. I use all Lucerne. Lucerne makes this professional sheet mask. I love doing microcurrent over it, especially those like the eye mask or the mask.
Yeah. And as long as you can check the device, the MyLife Mini, you can check to see if you're getting conductivity right on the device, which is allows you to play around a little bit. And you can't say that about the other devices. So that's
I can't tell you how many comments I get. Like, I'm using my NuFace and I don't know if it's working and I can't see results and I just don't know. And it's like, oh, like
you don't know.
Remove the question and here's a bar. And it'll tell you.
No, I know you don't know if it's working. And it's like, I'm not saying anything bad about NuFace because I have their devices and I love them. But
it's a great handheld.
I only want to use their gel or like 70 Wellness's gel, like a microcurrent gel, or else I don't know if it's working. So that's why I say that. Like why I say maybe it's clean or not, but I say I want to use it because I want to make sure it's actually working.
Yeah, and it's safer for you to promote that. I feel like I was using colloidal silver gel. Like I really like this stuff as a conductivity gel. Some aloe is good. You can cocktail and make your own little solution. You can use seaweed, which is what
Valentina does. Valentina makes her own like aloe seaweed thing, and I don't know what she's doing, but it's really cool.
I'm going to do a DIY how-to soon.
Oh, everybody wants it. You better post that fast. And then everyone's going to ask me and I'll just put a link to your video.
Thank you.
I'll just be like, go watch Katie's video. I don't know. Because it's your, you know, like you're the real deal. Like I am certified to do microcurrent 370 wellness, but that's it. Like this is not my job is to not treat people's skin. So we really rely on your expertise.
But I think that it's really beneficial for someone at home to get both perspectives, right? Because I might be willing to do, you know, 15 more steps than someone else, or you know what I mean? Like I might be looking at it from a different way, and I think it's good to kind of see like, oh, okay, like this is someone I can relate to, or this is professional treatment. So I think there's benefit to having both of those. And like I use that device in treatment. I made some of their professional like educational videos for them too.
Oh,
so
cool.
I've been using it a lot, and I think I get a little loose and I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and I think people go like, wait, but that's not in the manual. Like,
but people want that though. People want to see that. Everybody in the comments is so excited for your DIY gel video.
Yeah, it's coming. I bought it already. I just have to do it.
Everybody is like, I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it too. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Were there any other questions that we had wanted to talk through from our list?
I
feel like we covered everything.
We covered everything. Does anyone want to ask a question that you felt like wasn't answered?
Any idea when the video will be up? Oh, this video or the DIY video? This video we're gonna post. I'm gonna post this right to IGTV like right away.
Yeah.
I don't know when you're doing your DIY video. Maybe next week.
What do I have? I can try and do it next week. I can try and do that.
Yeah, everybody wants the DIY. It's so funny. I feel like the two questions I get asked the most on all of my social channels are, how often do I need to do it? And can I get some cheaper gel? Or like, can I get different gel?
I have a whole video on gel alternatives already, specifically with your NuFace device. And it's an older video, but it's on my channel. So if anyone wants to see what I used to do. The guidelines for it is anything mostly water-based, right? Everyone's like so afraid of oil and microcurrent, and as long as you're not putting a facial oil on your skin, a little bit of oil is fine.
It's okay.
Oil naturally on your skin, and the current penetrates it. So if you have a serum you love, a face mask, like a gel mask, a sheet mask, anything like that, you can use as conductivity. Technically, water is conductive. It just hurts if you only use water and you don't get nice slip. So you need to think about that too. You want slip. And then even if you are not into organic skincare, I highly recommend whatever you put underneath your conductivity gel or your conductivity gel itself, that it's clean. So you are pushing all of those products deep, deep, deep into your skin. And so if there, you know, is parabens or PEGs or phthalates or all of these other icky things in that formulation, that's all going deep too. So you just want to be mindful of that.
Well, somebody was asking, of course, about microneedling, and I can't believe we didn't bring it up yet. People always want to know, like, you know, how can I do microneedling at home? And like, what's the order with the rate of frequency and the microcurrent? And I've just started doing microneedling a little bit, and it scares me. But I want to it scares me, but I want to do it, and I do it once a week, but I haven't done it again. I'm supposed to do it once a week.
Okay, so I am pretty conservative with things with skin. I want to push product into my skin without creating inflammation, right? Everything I do in my skincare routine, in my diet, in my lifestyle is all anti-inflammatory, maybe aside from a cocktail here and there. But right? So you want to reduce inflammation because inflammation causes damage to your DNA, and it can prematurely age you. So I want to push product in without creating little microchannels. However, I know lots of people like to microneedle and do things. And so my suggestion is to not roll, because the rollers
to stamp.
To stamp.
Okay.
So micro channeling, micro stamping, dermal stamping, all of those, I'd go in that direction.
I did the Jen Amber Beauty. She had this microneedling tool that I used. I did a video, I did a live with her. I really liked the experience. I followed the instructions perfectly. I mean, I didn't try the stamp yet. I have it and I can try it, but there's so much controversy around it. And I really liked the experience. People in the comments were like, don't be scared. Yeah, the microneedling, like I was really careful and I really liked it. But there's just so much controversy around, like you're saying, like putting those holes in your skin.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do it, I would just be conservative and stamp. So there's a couple options. Georgia Louise makes, it's a micro, like it's a stamp, and it has, I think galvanic on it or something. So you can get an additional modality that's pushing it in. Vanessa Lee RN from The Things We Do, she has a little stamp guy that you could get. And then Aqua Gold is like the professional version, and it's this tiny little like vial that has gold needles on the bottom of it. And they make professional, but I believe that they have some sort of retail kit that you can purchase. Like home.
People like Dr. Penn. I see that a lot.
I haven't seen that one.
People talk about it a lot. And then the Jen Amber Beauty has the aqua stamp that I just got my hands on. So that seems like it's safer because you're just pushing it in and you're not rolling it. As long as you keep it really sterile, really clean, you follow the instructions, you're not putting like weird skincare on your face before you're like stamping your face.
Totally. I'll check out the Dr. Penn.
Yeah, everybody says Dr. Penn. And Jen Amber has some great ones.
So I've been using this really weird device to do the same thing.
Show us your weird device.
They sent it to me and I'm like, am I going to get cancer? I don't know what this is.
What is it?
It took me so long to figure out even what it did, but it's called the Energizer.
Ooh.
And it uses pulsed electric fields, or PEF, with cold ion. Wow. And so what it does, you just hover it over your skin, and you can use it as little as 3 minutes a day. I do it 1 minute now. And it creates, it's like cellular permeability. It creates an opening in the cell for nutrients to go into the cell, and then it closes up behind it without causing damage to the cell or your skin.
That's kind of better than making a hole.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is why I'm like, I don't really need to do that, because I'm just going to not even, worry about it. Because I know people love it. Again, I'm conservative, and I worry about the long-term effect of creating trauma in the skin. So
yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to probably do it like once a week or every other week and just see how it goes. I just want to give you a heads up. This is going to cut off like in 2 minutes, because it only lets us talk for an hour, and I jumped on a little early, so I don't want to have us cut off. So
no worries.
No, it's not going to. We have a couple minutes, but I wanted to thank everybody who's here. This has been so
awesome.
Thank you so
much.
I want to thank Katie for taking time out of your day to come and educate everybody about this. This has been, I mean, I've learned a ton. This was great. And people are asking, like, if later in the comments when we post this video, we can list, like, all the stuff we talked about, like the gels and the devices and the and even the skincare. Like, I know you have a lot of blog posts on your site with like blog posts on your website about skincare that you use in conjunction with these different devices. So maybe we can together come up with some information to put in the caption.
Totally.
We don't have to do it today. It's Friday, you guys. We're not going to do it today.
But I'll give you all of that. And also, if you guys have questions, I have so my whole thing is like really in-depth YouTube videos about technology. So sometimes it can be a little too nerdy, and verbose. But like, if you have questions about it, they're on my YouTube channel. And then I have a website too that has discount codes, and then all the skincare stuff too. I have a whole shop.
And tell your discount code for the NUA. Somebody just asked. It's organic. What is it? NUA
Organic.
And it's 20 off?
What's that?
20 off? 20%?
20% off the NUA Classic device, so the one with the cord. And I have it all over my Instagram posts. But then on my website at the top, it says discount codes, and all my discount codes are linked there.
I should do that.
So they're all in one place.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left. So I should do that actually. I should make a landing page just like all my promo codes because
I think it's easier.
Crazy. It's too crazy to like put it in the description of YouTube, and it's hard to track. But yes, we will go, you guys, to the caption of this video, and we'll list everything for you. It might take us a while to put it together. I'm gonna actually try to put this live up on YouTube as well.
I am recording it also, so if you don't mind, I'll do that too.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's put it out there, and then we can just leave all the info just to help people, because there's stuff that you covered that I want to go check out, and I don't know what it is. There's so much that we went over, and I know that people will want to go look at it later, and we can put like all the promo codes and the links and just all the devices, and then I can keep you guys updated on like the LED that I end up trying from Current Body.
I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. But thanks you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Katie, for all the great information.
Thank you for having me.
I hope that you guys have a great Friday and a great rest of your weekend. And let us know in the comments, like, if you want us to do this again. We could pick another topic and do it again.
I would love that. This was so fun.
It was really fun. We're all such device nerds. We all are super into it. So
yeah.
Thanks you guys for coming.
Awesome. Stay safe, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Thanks, Trina.
Thank you. Bye.